Please rise to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll go around the room. Joey, you're just here?
Just here like normal.
Okay. Doing sorry?
Will Dukeland.
Will do.
Yeah.
Can I
That's
spell
good.
can I spell your last name?
We're just gonna go around, introduce, and then we'll.
Yeah, okay. DUC.
Yep.
OLON. First name just Will.
Okay.
John? Marina? Eric? And Andre. All right, and we have
Yep, yeah, Robert on
Robert Weatherby.
And we also have Kristen's unable to make it tonight.
Yeah, Kristen's on the phone too, so. All right, we'll start this way. Joe, you have nothing? And
Jonas Hardy is my name.
Jonas?
It's my old man. I have property at 5 Bear Run Road,
Okay,
at the top of Combs Road.
yes.
I would just like to find out what it takes for me to be able to place a gate up there.
Is it a? I
My
don't know.
driveway is Bear Run Road. I don't know if anyone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
My
know-
driveway is Bear Run Road. I've got my barn up there and I have no way to keep any kind of trespassers out. I realize plowing and fire and rescue, I'm wondering if I could set the gate in enough to give your plow guys room to safely make the back around and all that kind of stuff.
Is Bear Run Road a recognized? Like, I'm not familiar enough. Is it a recognized road in Richford?
So Richford is plowing the road, is what you're saying?
Right, they only turn around on Bear Run is the driveway, they just turn around right there, there's nowhere else to do it, because they plow all the way up to the top most of the time.
Okay.
I don't live there, I'm building there in the spring,
Okay.
but the barn is there. I'd just like to be able to put a gate, there's nothing to keep people out of there. You pull in Bear Run, it's the driveway, and it's just open to everything I got there.
Is yours the only property on that road?
Yeah, Pete and Sally Combs are the last ones before me, but I'm like, gotta be half mile further up the road. And then the other side of the road just went to the Vermont Wildlife Trust. That was Adam Gattel's parcel.
So you go up to the very end, I haven't been up there for a long time, I can remember, there's a
Put it on
place
my
that goes
phone
off to the
for you.
left, and there's a place you go straight up the hill.
Straight up is nothing. That whole parcel just went to the Vermont Land Trust.
Okay.
It's not a livable dwelling or anything like that. That is all just basically,
There's a dwelling there, but.
it's not livable though. It's just, been there for a million years. But no one lives up there and it's now the land trust. It's like 730 acres. So up that far, I'm the only one up there.
So yours is the driveway of yours off to the left that the town boys.
Can I put it on Google Earth for you?
Sure.
You want the district?
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah.
Bear Run Road does go up to that abandoned house up there that's now part of the trust. It is a class 3 road. Bear Run Road is also a class 3 road. It used to go down around the barn, down over the hill and down to where Randy Farr is. You kind of picture.
So it goes over towards the Coy Road. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your options are to go up the Bear Run Road, so it become his. Because like he says, they don't plow in very far.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have a camper up there? Okay, just, you didn't mention that when you paid tax on it in the past. What he is asking for basically classifies as a pent road. The property owner owns land on each side of a town road.
Okay.
And he wants to close it. Often a pent road is often done for the purpose of cattle. But these days we understand either privacy of trespassers or vandals. But under law, on class 2, class 3, or class 4 road, can't lock it. It has to remain unlocked. But it doesn't go anywhere. So it'd be your choice.
So if we threw it up, it would become his it'd become his to maintain. from wherever we designate the
From where we
turnaround.
designate as the end, whether there's enough room for turnaround, whatever.
This is as you come up Combs Road and you veer off to the left, and this
That's
is,
yours.
and there's the old existing stone house.
Okay, I've never been down in there.
This is the red house
Yeah.
that's, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is. Okay.
And
But
that's
can
Randy
I
Farr.
ask a question? This is Kristen on the phone.
Yeah,
When they say a land trust, what does that entail? Like the property that is also up there that he says nobody goes on, like that's owned by the state of Vermont?
Right, it just
Who
sold.
maintains that? Like when you say the land trust, like
It-
would people need access if something, were to happen up there? Would they need to, I guess they're just building more than
So where I think he's looking to put the gate's not going to interfere with that driveway to the land trust, Kristen.
It's
Okay,
on the
And the
other side of the road.
The trust that owns that parcel now is the Northeast Wilderness Trust out of Montpelier.
okay. That's my curiosity, I guess.
and it just means there's no development rights or anything, so pretty much there's not much that's gonna happen.
No, ever,
Never.
basically.
So how did you word that, Eric? What would we have to do?
Legally, you'd have to throw up the road.
Okay.
And there's a legal process to do that. I mean, you'd have to, the normal posting that you're gonna discard this road from town rights,
Yes.
hearing for the public if they so choose, that route.
Okay. Now let me ask a question. I personally don't see any benefit to the town of Richford holding on to this road. And just looking for opinions. Alan, Kristen, and Wally, what are your thoughts?
So we'll put it on him to maintain it as far as plowing.
Well, it would essentially become, everything beyond the gate would essentially be his driveway.
Right.
The new house you're building, is it on this road? And if the town were to give up maintenance of this road, are you willing to accept the expense and responsibility of taking
Right.
care of your own road?
Well, so if I throw up the road, how far is Richford required to plow? Because it's still, you still have Combs Road to plow, do you not? I'm just that small, what is it, 150 feet maybe? That's all my thing is. I'd like to set the gate in enough so that your plowman can still safely turn around, because won't they still be required to keep Combs Road plowed?
Yeah.
Combs Road, we're just talking the bare.
Right, so my only maintenance is plowing what I'm set to plow anyway, eventually, when I'm up there next year.
So basically,
And you're saying
you're gonna
anytime-
set the fence far enough that the plow can turn around safely.
I'd like them to be able to. I don't want that to be a nightmare. It's, it's winter up there.
Yeah.
My concern with giving up the road, we don't know what's gonna happen down the road. Somebody else could build maybe further down, potentially, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that area.
It's dead ended.
You mind showing Alan?
Yeah.
Do you see any negative consequences, Eric? Based on your understanding of?
Only in what Alan says is you don't know what the future holds, but it's not like there's no one beyond it on that little leg.
Who owns the land on the other side of that?
That's the land trust.
So
He
as
owns
you
the land
approach,
all the
you
way
come up
around
Combs
that
Road, this is.
But, yes, but
just
on the
that
far
section
side where the
here to
road
the existing
Fars.
house in the far.
fars, so
Yeah,
That
it's
is dead ended there.
dead ended right there at
Yeah.
Fars, where Fars on the other side.
Yes.
So this is
So I don't-
talking.
Just
You've
this
got Randy
portion
in there,
here,
you've
all
got
of
him.
this.
One road comes in one way and the road comes in the other way, then they got their land.
I'm sorry, guys, but I can't hear when these people are talking at the same time.
Sorry.
I apologize. If somebody could just, one person can talk, so I can hear clearly, I apologize.
Yeah, we're just, couple discussions, the map was being shown to Alan, and I was discussing with Eric that you got Combs Road, which is on the other side, which Randy Farr has land up to.
Right, yeah.
And then the other side is the Bear Run Road, which, I'm sorry, Will's land adjoins Randy's from what I'm being told.
The access to Randy's is from Coy Road.
Yes. Yes.
So the only thing to check out would be Will's deed to see if it mentions any other parties having access
Okay.
to it.
Which I'm familiar with all my, I have easement to, my spring box is on the land trust side.
Okay.
And I have easement or access or whatever to that.
Okay.
And Bear Run, if it were found on an old map, would circle back up and connect to Combs Road higher up on the conserved land.
So basically just like a horseshoe?
Yeah. And it hasn't been open to that in years. I mean, you could sort of see where it is better from the air than you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was looking at
Yeah.
see it.
Rather than giving up the road, could we just give Will permission to put up a gate? And with the understanding that if down the road, that road ever the town needed to start maintaining it again, that the gate would be taken down?
I mean, I'm going to build there next year. I kinda like it to be mine, honestly. I'd like to be able to have a gate there, especially once I do have my home there.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you put up a gate, but just rather than give you the land for the road or give up the maintenance to the road, just give you permission to put up a gate? Is that something that will do?
I don't think we can do that and have it locked at the same time, right?
That's correct.
I think that's where we're running into issues.
I mean, once we give it up, I mean, that's permanent. And I kinda hate to do that, just nothing, you know, it's just, that we don't know what could happen down the road.
What are
Maybe nothing,
potential
but
things that could happen?
I've worked enough with land records, I honestly don't know. I know that in this world, you never say never. There's always things that come up that nobody can foresee or predict. And like I say, once we give it up, that's permanent.
But what Will is saying, he just needs enough. See, people, believe it or not, this world is changing a lot in my lifetime. There's not all desirable to drive up that road. And if that's a common road, they can drive right up to his house.
Yeah, they can drive
And he's got
within
a
the
2-year-old child, or pardon me, a 4-year-old child.
I hear you.
He wants to stop that, but still make it so it works for everyone, and especially the poor guy that's on that plow. To earlier, a few years ago, they came in pretty close to the house and put some fill in so they'd have a little turnaround. You probably remember that. And
How many?
there's plenty of land on, if you were coming up on the right-hand side, he owns that land, there's plenty of land there to make an area without very little cost of just turning around right there, and it's not gonna interfere with anyone. But he also wants to feel, as I guess we all do, you know, we never really, if we don't pay our taxes, they come and get it. You don't really ever really own, I just paid my house off yesterday.
Congratulations.
Alan,
And I'd
What
like
would you think about
to,
a site
you
visit
know, I'll
to
be
just
sitting in
review
front of you guys
exactly
and
where he's
Will
talking?
on maybe us building something up there, some little cabins so I can die away. But all he's asking is just,
Yeah.
they've always had a wonderful rapport. He wouldn't change that.
So what I'm gonna propose is.
You don't have to make a decision. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
We're gonna propose basically a site visit so we can see exactly what we're looking at instead of from the map. We can just walk and figure out what. we
And
can-
we'll do a little other research.
Yeah,
Eric, and I mean, we'll look at the town rec here.
Somebody
Dean.
eyeball it. I mean, that gentleman knows it like
Yeah. Yep.
unbelievably.
so will that work for you? And then we'll have to set up a time date to go up there and just walk it with you?
Any wild guess on when? It's just a daily problem I have.
It's just-
I realize you gotta go through all the proper things.
We're gonna find out what works good for each other, then go from there. I mean, do you have particular days of the week that?
I'll make whatever you need,
Alright.
I'll be up there.
Well, can you, if you wanna, is that, you have a folder here, a piece of paper, you can write his name and address, or email on?
I get sticky note. This is stuff for
Yeah.
you guys.
Get a piece of paper, you can get that contact information.
Alright, John?
Wow. Just give a second, John.
Michael's taking notes.
Who'll be going up there? Who will be joining you?
I guess it's any select board member.
Yeah.
That's not.
There you go.
You want name, number, email?
Yeah, and then you get your address or.
Yep.
Hey, and thank all of you for, I just wrote a song, Whatever Happened to America. And it's being played and, makes me feel to get up and swear your allegiance and
You want the address of the parcel?
it's nice.
I think we can find it's dead end, right?
I know exactly where
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. I've never driven down there though. I always went up to the house and turned around.
I think we had a grass fair there last year, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
No.
Has it been quiet over the weekend or last few days?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not say those words, please. I'm on tomorrow morning.
I could have it down the middle of Main Street, just so there's nobody around.
Okay.
Michael will let you be the keeper of the.
Okay.
And that was
Alrighty,
great.
thank you for coming and we'll be in touch.
Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Alright, John?
As zoning administrator, may I use the attorney for 144 Main Street,
This way.
which is the old Lucy house up the street,
Sure, where is Lucy?
Next to the
the
old.
next field from her home.
Oh,
So
okay.
that house is a constant trouble, people complaining all over the
Is
place.
that the noise violation
Where-
one?
Yeah,
yes.
she wouldn't, they wouldn't accept the certified letter, so I have mailed them just a regular copy. That the attorney said it really doesn't, if they refuse it, they're still responsible.
Okay. And what are you looking for, or what are you hoping for from the town attorney?
To have the attorney write her a letter that she needs to follow the bylaws. If they don't,
And which ones are we specifying?
Yeah, what bylaws?
trash,
Yes, I would agree.
noise.
Okay.
And like the other night, I could smell smoke, so I went out on my front porch. I couldn't see in front of the Catholic church, there was so much black smoke going across the street from there.
I've asked residents to call when this is going on. This is something I've been trying to catch, and I've had no luck. I can go by and there's a pile there, next day it was gone, so I've asked everyone involved to report it.
Well, I think people are afraid to report it, because there's such a mob of people that live there.
911, it doesn't have to go.
Okay.
Is that a rental unit, John?
No.
No, it's a private home, but she rents out rooms, I understand.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem if you think it'll help. So you need a motion for that?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to allow John to work with the town attorney for 144 Main Street.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passed.
And I didn't work with really because the attorney contacted Kelly, but I think the place up on Gilmet Road, I think she did pay her $5,000 that she was to pay. And I think she did come in and sign the lien on her property under duress, because the lawyer threatened her with contempt of court.
But she's still not.
Oh, I know she is, yeah. I had sent some new pictures to the attorney, and she was gonna notify her she'll be held in contempt of court if she doesn't
Start complying. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Rowena?
Well, since he didn't cover it, I will. Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we have a DRB meeting. And it's the Vermont Land Trust and Nature Conservancy. They're doing a subdivision. We'd like to see the select board there because this land is near, or does it actually cross in to where a water source for Richford?
Here's a flyer from the new group that's buying that land. There's a nice map on the back where it says Richford Town Forest.
That's the watershed to the water part, but it doesn't touch it.
It's above it,
So
actually.
here it is again that you guys are talking about a Vermont land trust with like the same as Will, like, and now they're selling pieces of that?
I don't know if what he's talking about is connected to this or not.
Vermont
Well, I'm
Land
just, that's my only worry around the road thing, is there is other land up there, and now there's another situation where Vermont Land Trust is now selling property, so I just, that concerns
But it's to another nature conservancy.
Yeah,
Right,
It's,
right.
it's,
I know,
Yeah.
but you just don't know in the future what the future holds, so, I mean, it just is.
They're dividing their 2,800 acres in Richford into 2 parcels, selling it to.
Oh.
and what is their goal in selling it?
Yes.
It's both being conserved with no
Okay.
buildings allowed on it.
So you said Wednesday?
Yeah,
Wednesday at
Wednesday at
6.
6.
I think you've got one
Yeah, I
reserved,
did.
your property
Yeah.
borders.
Yeah, I got 100 feet that borders it.
And one part, well, we have to have the hearing because the Stevens Mill slide doesn't have any road frontage. And their right of way is through Dorcas McCollister's property.
Okay,
Is that the town hall?
Yes,
6 o'clock.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything else? No. Eric?
For Christine, Vermont Land Trust is not a owner per se of the property. Properties that enter into conservatories or easements with private individuals, it's the private individual's agreement, usually for some sum of money, to place their property into a conservatory where they can't be developed. But the property itself still belongs to the original property owner.
So, and then can they syndicate that? Like they can take it back if they wanted to?
No,
Never.
it's perpetual.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it.
Thank you, Eric, for that.
And where they decided to draw their line between the 2 parcels is the actual ridge line.
Yeah.
Of J, and then back into Richford on that mountain that I'm not even sure if it has a name, but it's right up on the actual top of both mountains.
So a bit interesting to see what they have to say.
And when I was talking with the guy on the phone, they wanted to get it done in this August because whoever is buying the land was going to get a huge tax break if they could complete this before the end of August.
Okay.
The other thing I came to about, and I am not gonna leave it with you tonight because I learned this afternoon that there's yet another one. We have the certificate called Errors and Omissions. When you set your grand list and file it in the vault, that sets your grand list for the year. But there's always a possibility of something cropping up between the time the grand list is set and the time you collect your taxes, and that's exactly what's happened. So we have basically 3 properties that have been affected. One, a fellow brought to our attention that his tax bill said he had 1 acreage, when in reality he had 0.62 of an acre more. And that acreage was supposed to be sold to his adjoining neighbor, and the deal never went through, yet the neighbor filed a survey on it. So it looked like it went through, and that happens sometimes. So that's kind of a swap between who has what, and we're only going to be a couple $100 difference either way, but nonetheless we're required to fill the form out. The other one involves a town property. As you are aware, Judith McDonald has a 222 square foot shed sitting on town land that she pays a tax on every year through her tax bill. Well, the assessment took place and it got lost in the shuffle of different assessors, because we had a couple that were sick, so they did some backfilling. And lost the point that, oh yes, they were supposed to adjust the contract amount so that she would be taxed right. She was always taxed about $84, $85 a year. This year she got taxed $1,064 and something for her shed, which is a little off. So that creates a little bit of a difference. In the end, once these are done, it's only a $200 difference in the grand list. It's not a big thing. However, today, Knox insists that the grocery store isn't taxable anymore because they changed its name. So I need to check with the League of Cities and Towns to see if that is a true statement. I'm saying they're taking the statute out of context and they're saying they're not taxable. So that is rather big. Now we're talking $800,000. So I won't ask you to sign this tonight, but if I get it cleared up before Wednesday, I'll put it with your bills to sign. And it's just a basic thing to sign to acknowledge that you know this. This has come before you, and then we file it with the grand list.
So, which portion of Notch? Is it just the grocery store?
It's the grocery store. In the past, the grocery store, Notch had control of that condo, the first level, but they leased it to another entity running the grocery store. They're now saying they are the entity running the grocery store, and therefore they are
And they're trying to,
taxable.
because they're saying they're nonprofit.
Right,
But the business itself is for profit.
exactly.
Okay.
So we need clarification from the legal folks in
Okay.
BTC.
Okay.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Andre?
I don't have anything, I'm just here for questions. I will make a comment though. I know the Bear Run Road is something I had to respond to recently.
Okay.
And I think that precipitated the visit here today.
Okay.
And so what I've been doing is, well, I got the call last week. Are you sure Bear Run Road's in Richford?
Yeah.
Dispatch said yes. So I went up there and I added to my patrol.
Okay.
When I went down that road. Actually, I met with a couple of the neighbors that day on Combs Road. So that's it. The Blue House that we were talking about, that's, we're all aware that there's some incidents that happened there just over the last few days,
Okay.
since last week, that there's going to be repercussions. So I'm going to help out with what's going on there. I know a week ago I wrote a ticket for the spinning tires. I was able to catch them,
Okay.
which is good. And I know I did respond to a noise complaint, and they did admit the noise complaint, and they said they stopped it, and they said it was just a one-time thing with the music. But they cooperated at that point.
Okay.
There's a lot more going on there.
Okay.
Thank you, Andre.
Yes. Thank you. Robert?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Do you have anything to add this week, Robert?
Nope, not at this time. I'm just out listening in. I'm still waiting for advice from some agency, so
Okay.
I'll get back to you sometime.
Okay.
All right, so that concludes the guest. So now we're looking for approval of the 8/7/2023 meeting minutes.
I want to propose an edit to the minutes. Recognizing the open meeting violation, down at the part where it says after discussion with VLTC about a solution, Select and Steinhauer proposed two select board members to address the, I want to say, first we admitted, the solution to this is to one, admit that a violation occurred, and two, to propose a solution. So I wanted to say, so we admitted the violation and we proposed a solution at the same time. Just to have that clarified in there. And then on the under the talk about cutting the behind the Masonic building, I want to say Selectman Steenhauer said the highway crew with the permission of the landowner cleaned out the brush behind them. I just want that in there, that it was with the permission of the landowner.
Okay.
That's everybody.
I approve that.
Yeah.
So with those changes, we'll be looking for approval of the minutes. I'll make the motion. Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passed.
I wanna stick, with you three and then with Chris abstaining because Kristen wasn't at the last meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to see.
Yep.
Update from town administrator.
Well, I got a bunch of things. Don't worry. So first, I have a grant agreement for the Grants and Aid Program of 2024. This is a yearly grant that we usually go with. It's for highway. It's just to help with water quality improvements, like stone line ditch projects, like runoff.
Yeah.
Like I said, we do this every year.
Yeah.
I just have the grant agreement needs to be signed for end of this year into next year so when next summer comes around, Jason can identify a project and use this funding for. I think this time they are awarding $12,000 with a $3,000 match from us.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty standard, like I said, every year. I'll pass that over there. Along with that, I closed out the 2023 one.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear back, but I think everything's good there, and if they need more information, I'll work with them on it. Like I mentioned last meeting, I'm working on the USDA community facilities grant closeout for the ambulance radios. I do have the totals, but I'm still waiting on one check to be cleared from Radio North. So if you could, if you can give them a call and ask them to cash that so I can completely close this out, that'd be good. But for this tonight, I have the totals. I only ran through these once. I did not do a second check, but I'll give you the totals that what I came up with the first time. So the total cost was $21,866.44 for the two for the radios for installation for everything into both ambulance trucks. That is over $4,491.44 of what we were initially quoted for and what we put in for the grant. The original quote from the grant was $17,375. With this, USDA will cover $9,000 of this. So once I close this out, they'll send a check over for $9,000. And which leads me to the ARPA funding match that we initially talked about would need to be $12,866.44. As I said, I ran through those numbers once. I did not fact check myself on that, but that's what I came up with the first time. I don't know if you want to wait to use ARPA money the next one, if you want me to double check, or if you want to just approve that amount so that I can close out the grant and then you can be done with it.
I would say, as long as you're in the ballpark with that $12,000 number, I would, barring any substantial deviation, I would say go ahead.
There's definitely not a substantial deviation. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but
I would
just wanted to put that out there.
I would move forward with using the ARPA funding to close that out, pay it.
Okay. I gotta write that somewhere. Alright, so.
I made the motion.
You did make the motion, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
You have second.
I can second it. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passed.
Okay. So I did those. So now I'm on the rail trail extension one.
Okay.
So I do have numbers for that. I don't have anything in hand, but I asked Andy to forward the project manager on this. how much money was spent total up to this point since the inception of the project. He said, on their record, it's $156,818.39.
56,000.
No,
Yep.
$156,818.39. Our local match for that, so what we paid into it is $13,777.70. So I did the math, after our match, that would leave us $143,040.69. Which again, we don't know if we do end the project, we don't know what they would make us do. I know at a couple meetings ago, Alan suggested informing like Lisa Hango, getting her involved, and maybe getting some support from local representatives about it.
Okay. Is this a FEMA grant or a state grant?
I don't know if it's a FEMA grant, but I know it's V-Trans, it's through V-Trans. But I know when we talked to Andy, he said it's a mix of federal and state funds. So I don't know.
Federal, then maybe we need to be contacting our federal representative and Bernie Sanders.
I have Bernie Sanders' number for that. Should we try reaching out to those people first before writing an official letter? Should that be our next step?
I think we go and get them on the page.
That's what I mean, like get them up to speed before we do anything.
Well, tell them what we're planning. I'm assuming we're gonna try to move forward with canceling the project. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Then, yeah, so,
Communicate what's going on, what's communicated.
yeah, so let's, I think we need to first make that motion, right? That's our goal. Make a motion to, to step away from the rail trail extension project. And then reach out to our, state and federal representatives to write us a letter, basically, right? That's what we're looking for, probably. And
See like what they can do. Yeah, just to see what they. Yeah.
Okay. So motion's on the floor. I'll second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passed.
Okay. So I forgot to bring this up at the last meeting, but I've been reached out to from Vermont National Forest Products a couple of times. I think I forwarded it one time to the select board about the tax stabilization program. They have asked in the past, there was really no answer, so they're following up again. Because they would be interested in using that program.
How can they at this point?
That's what I'm not sure how,
Because my understanding of that program is to help people buy a business. And for an existing business, the program is designed to help them if they're doing an expansion. It's not part of the program to just allow businesses to get a tax break. And even if it was an expansion, the break would only be on the expansion portion, not on the existing business.
So if they had sought us out when they were in the process of purchasing it, it would have been different?
If they were in the process of purchasing it and they came to it, they might have been eligible for the program, but as an existing business, they're not. If their issue is with the taxes, maybe they should look at appealing their tax assessment next year with the listers or something. Because from what I understand about the program, they wouldn't be eligible for it at this point.
Did they know that, Alan? Like, has someone conversed with them about that?
I don't know.
That's why I'm bringing it up again.
Well,
So we can all be on the same
do we
page.
have guidance around what if they would be eligible? Can we send them the guidance around why they wouldn't be eligible?
Is that a state program or just town?
That's a town program.
So we must say, can you do some research and find the guidance and be able to point them
Yeah.
into why?
I can also send you guys the
Yeah, do that.
program so you can all read it. I mean, it explains, in the application, which is on the register website, it
It's on the
does
website.
explain how it's used. But yeah.
I mean, if they're not eligible, then I think just sending them a letter telling them why they're not eligible would clear that up.
But I just wanted to make you aware of that because I forgot to last time.
I mean, is that something we can do, is to, draft a letter up and send that to them, saying this is why you're not eligible?
Yeah, how about Alan and I can work with Michael to, we'll review it and develop a response.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're fine with that, Alan.
Okay. I submitted the village designation center application that I gave all of you last meeting. So we're just waiting on them to let us know. They said their next meeting is in September, so we won't probably hear back until, I don't know when, but hopefully mid-September. They do give us a grace period after it expires to reapply, but I've already submitted it, so there should be no rush on that. I also closed out the passive grant, which was for all the safety equipment from VLCT, which was all highway. It would due to time constraints, we wanted to get what we had in there. We underutilized what we could have, but just like I said, because they usually run out of money pretty quickly.
Did you get anything? I know you were looking for things on the fire side.
Yeah, I think there was. I'm trying to remember what it was that you were asking for. I don't think there was.
Wetland.
Yeah, I think. I'm trying to remember what he said. I don't remember if that was.
It's an annual thing, it's like 5,000 annual,
Yeah,
so you guys make sure you
Next year.
get it in early.
Yeah.
Because I think it opens right at the beginning of the year, starts over
Yeah,
again.
it starts over.
Get it in.
January.
Okay.
Just make sure you make a note for yourself and make sure you,
Yeah,
I mean, the town.
there was some conversation around that. I don't remember what.
Okay.
But bring it up. Yeah, we can do it again.
Okay.
But I haven't heard it from
I
them.
think we're all set for what, so I think if you put it in bright and early, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on the grant for the HSIP highway safety small grant.
Yeah, that's for the South Richford grant, for the
Yep.
South Richford McCollister Road improvement.
I asked about that because I know. Once we get that, it should be pretty quick to get done.
Yeah, it'll be very quick.
So
Are they just taking down the shrubbery down along that?
Up to that first maple tree, I think. We're gonna see what it looks like from there.
Okay.
and yeah, that's all I have.
Good. All right. Highway reports next.
Just not a lot to report. The crushing was done for all of they stockpiled for a few years, all the stuff they got from the bridge project down here. So that's stockpiled and it should provide, us gravel, without trucking, at least a good chunk for a while. They finished up the winter sand late last week. Everything else is, just general grading, maintenance of road. Like Michael said, we're waiting on that funding for that little project. But it's been pretty quiet. No major breakdowns, knocked on wood. So fingers crossed.
Hey, Long, a quick question. As far as like the signage, like for the winter warnings and bans and stuff, that sign coming into town that has been.
Needs to be replaced. Yes, I need to speak with Jason about that, and I'm glad you brought up sign.
It's just such an eyesore. I've been meaning to say something.
I think we need new ones.
At least getting it down, so it doesn't help. I mean, that's what you first see when you come to town. So yeah, if we could at least take it down and then obviously before the winter get it back up. That'd be great.
The other thing, I did get an email or forwarded to me, maybe from Marissa, about some people wanted some slow children at play signs in East Richford. I guess I'm still new to the position. Like, what are our town obligations for requests like that? I mean, do we do it as a courtesy? I mean, I guess my concern is like, you could put that anywhere, anywhere where there's children. So I don't like. I mean, so that's where I'm like, you know, you could have 3 or 4 on my road, you could have, you know, some on the, you know, several on McAllister Road, Gilmet Road. I mean, where's the town obligation? I just always assumed, I think people paid for their own signs to put them up, or did it themselves, but I mean, not knowing enough about the past history of the town, I guess I wanted to ask, do you know, Alan?
I'm not aware of any standards, like you gotta have so many kids on the street to have a sign or anything like that.
No, I don't even think they were just saying, hey, it feels like people are going fast through East Richford, we'd like to have some signs put up that say slow children at play.
Just through the loop.
Yeah, well, I think down by my understanding was down by where you come through the railroad tracks, up around where the store used to be.
Is there even a speed limit sign up there?
No, I think if it's not posted, isn't it? I mean, I guess I'm assuming it would be posted, but I don't know, I'd have to drive there.
Yeah, there's a speed limit sign through there.
Is there, do you remember what it is?
It's 35.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of children that live down through there, but.
Well, it could be grandkids that come play too, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Just saying, I
so-
don't know a lot of kids that live.
So, I mean, I don't know, it's something we need to act upon, I mean, if the board.
No, I think there was a complaint prior actually to me living here. I think Kylie had forwarded one that said the same thing on my street. That, you know, people race up and down the street constantly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the town's obligation.
I think we can put the sign up, but if we do it for one,
That's what I
we're
mean.
gonna have to do
Right.
it for,
How many streets are we gonna have to?
yeah.
And then that's at some point they lose, the greater the saturation, the less potency they have as well, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. So I don't know if we have to do anything, I just wanted to bring it up.
I suppose if you wanted to do something like that, to get the ones that, the little plastic kids
Yeah.
that say slow down,
Yeah.
we could get a few of those and just move them throughout the town.
But again,
I mean, yeah, and there's complaints.
If we gave them authority to put a sign in the town's right of way, would they be okay with putting up their own sign?
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that's whole new to me. So
Maybe that's something we could think about. Tell them if they want to put on a sign, we'll allow them to put a children at play or whatever sign in our right of way.
okay, I'm fine with it. Do you want to make a motion to that effect?
Can we make a motion to?
Let me see. Let me see. I mean, do we want to direct it to the individual? What's a little more specific? Dun, dun. Okay. No, there's no name attached to it. So, just a complaint. Say that there is a 25-mile-an-hour sign and people are traveling there way faster. His neighbor has young children. That's all it says. So I can't. So yeah, I mean, I guess if we make a motion, it's gonna be townwide.
I think the only thing we might want to do is to make sure it's not going to interfere with the plow. But if they wanted to put their own sign in at their expense.
So maybe I'll let me reach out to Marissa and I'll report back. About to get more specifics, because I don't want to make a blanket.
Yeah.
And then speaking of signs, I talked a while earlier about the speed bumps.
Yeah.
We probably should get signs for those too.
Yeah. And I spoke with Jason, and as part of the purchasing of the speed bumps, we're gonna, get some signage to go with them.
That makes sense.
Yes. Got to announce it before they.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's all I had.
That's all you have, okay. Next is buildings, I believe. And Sherry's not here. I got a message while the meeting started. She's at home, doesn't feel good as well. Her updates are the eyewash station and the sink in the boiler room have been replaced and the valve at the fire station has been fixed. That's what she has. You know of anything more?
I got an email, I forwarded it to her on Friday, about the library. They were kind of back on something she's already talked about with bathroom lock. I've been trying to reach out to the locksmith about that, I've had no response. But, so I told the librarian, she had me try to reach out to them. I haven't heard any response.
Because it locks from the inside?
Yeah, they have issues locking or getting out.
That's a special door. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get them to do that, but then she also talked, the new library director asked about that there's a hole in the ceiling of where that roof leak was in the children's room. I don't know what Sherry had planned for that, to get it patched or replaced,
Okay.
but she was concerned about that. I don't think she said it, but I know she called Mercy's about that, about the furnace quote, and it was no good now. So I don't know how she plans to.
Gone up more or just?
I don't know if he doesn't have the time. But that's what she told me last week. I don't know how that's, I should proceed with that. I can follow up with her because that's
Yeah,
kind of
definitely,
important.
because time is of the essence on that.
Yeah, so I will do that. That's all I have.
I actually I have an executive session one for employees for.
Okay. Water and sewer report, I don't have any report, Alan. I was at my last week, so.
I got a couple things on water and sewer.
Okay.
On the updating our rules for water and wastewater, we met last Thursday and I think we're done.
Okay.
So at this point, what I've asked Michael to do is, get it organized in the computer, get all of our updates in, and then print off a draft for you, Andy, me, Jeremy, Kylie, and Michael, for us to do our final tweaks.
Okay.
And final edit, and then once that is done, Mike can again update that. And then we'll be printing off the final version for the rest of the board to review. And there's a lot to it, there's a lot of stuff to review. But then after the whole board has had a chance to look at it, assuming they're good with it, we would vote to adopt it.
Okay.
And then at that point, we would have to post a notice in the paper, and I've got the language in the book and all the stuff that needs to go in the notice.
Okay.
And then we wait 60 days, and assuming there's no objections to it, it would go into effect.
Okay.
Seems like I get the historical piece about paper, but like, there's not like the St. Albans Messenger publishes twice a week. County Courier's
Once a week.
Done,
Done.
Counter's done.
essentially
Counter couriers.
close to probably being that way.
There's no more papers.
But I mean, so it's like, I guess what I'm saying is its effectiveness in notifying the public is severely muted from what it used to be.
I would recommend we still post it in 3 places.
And then maybe put it on our.
Put something on our website.
And the Facebook.
We can we can make it work.
And we are gonna be required to have copies here in the town hall.
Yeah.
People to come in and take a look at. And I guess my only thing with that is I would like to move on this as quickly as we can. These things haven't been updated in over 30 years, and there's a lot of good things in this. And I don't recall anything, Andy, in here that's detrimental to the users of our water and wastewater system. I think all the updates and changes we've made are ultimately gonna be to the benefit of the users of the system.
I think when we were going through the meetings, we didn't want to hurt anyone in the community, but we wanted a fair outcome.
And I think we achieved that. I think this is gonna be a set of rules that are gonna be, I think, effective. You know, when they did these original rules 30 years ago, they weren't even using water meters then. So there was a lot of circumstances and issues they never had to deal with. And it hasn't been changed since then. So a lot of the stuff that we've got in these new rules, these updated rules, are basically gonna make a lot of the issues we have go away because they're not gonna be issues anymore. These are what the rules are.
You're defined, yeah.
And again, Andy and I both agreed when we started, this wasn't about raising money or doing anything detrimental. It was all an attempt to get our rules in writing and have rules that are fair for everybody. So I think hopefully we can, make it through the process and get these in place as quickly as we can. We won't make it in time for the next water billing.
Which is when?
October.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I think these are gonna be really helpful. A lot of the issues that come to the select board now, they won't be select board issues. Because we're adopting these rules and again, we're able to do things I think other towns are not able to do because our system has been well managed. It's financially in good shape, it's well managed, and hopefully this will keep it that way. So, like I say, the next step is going to be getting the draft for us to do our final. Okay.
You see a reason to meet this week?
Are we gonna be able to have the drafts in time?
Yeah, I can get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alan, I just want to say thank you for accomplishing that and getting that done.
Well, it wasn't just me. We need to thank Andy and Jeremy,
Well,
and
Andy,
Kylie and Mike. A lot of,
That's amazing that you guys were able to do that. Thank you.
It was a group effort between all of us.
Thank you very much.
and it took a while, but, we tried to be thorough. And I think good things come when you take the time to do your best to do it right. And then the only other thing I had for water and sewer was on Dunleavy Avenue / Dewey Street. That is a private line.
It is a private line.
Yep. So if those hydrants need to be replaced, it would be the responsibility of the landowner. In our meeting on the wastewater though, Jeremy did say if the landowner was willing to pay for it, he would help them, give them the specs and whatever they needed to make sure the hydrant they put in was up to state standards,
But maybe we need to, the whoever maintains that also needs to be made aware of the liability that they're assuming the longer there must be a heck of a liability for not having functional hydrants, right?
liability and potential expense for the people that live on that street, because if that line breaks, they may not even know they're responsible for maintenance of the line, not us.
So have we made the person responsible for that aware of the issues?
No, we didn't know it was a private line until tonight, so I think we need to have a letter sent out to notify, saying that the hydrants are inoperative.
And that maybe have them reach out to you and Alan to discuss potential steps.
But Jeremy did say he would help them if they paid for it.
Yeah.
So that was all I had.
Okay. So Kristen, Parks, Playgrounds, Cemeteries report?
I don't really have much. Nothing that I can report right now.
Okay. And from there, we go to other business. Does anyone have other business to discuss? I've got one item, if not. It'd be under ambulance. I've showed Wally this already, Alan. It's an agreement between Enosburg Ambulance Service and Richford Ambulance Service. When we're in need of extra help, basically a paramedic. There's a charge, and we've been paying $275 up until now, and the rate's been in place for some time, and they're looking to increase it to $300 through 2025. I'm just looking for,
And it's going from, did you mention it's going from 275 to 300?
yeah,
Yeah, so it's not a substantial increase in it.
up $25, and we've got EMTs and AEMTs in this town. Paramedics are the next level up, and honestly, we probably, if I'd say 2% of the time use them, I'd be probably over.
It's only one.
Yeah, I'm just. And it's a vital thing. If it's needed, it's needed. We're not going to shortchange care. So. So everyone's in agreement, so I'll sign that.
Yep.
You need a motion for it then?
We can put a motion, make it official.
Make a motion to move forward with the signing a contract with Enosburg for an updated rate change of 300 for ambulance assistance. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paramedic in yourselves.
Yeah, paramedic in yourselves.
AMT paramedic.
It says
Covers
AMT on
both.
it too.
Yep.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? I'll abstain because I'm the director. Motion passed. One other thing involved in the ambulance. We, back to using paramedics again, we had a while back, we use paramedics from 3 different places, Enosburg being one of them, MVR out of Swanton is one, and then AmCare. AmCare, since I started, has been what, $450 bill, and out of the blue, they gave us a $1,050 bill without any notification whatsoever. I have no intentions in paying $1,050. We had received no letter or no notice of increase. There has been talk from one of their employees stating that basically the increase was to make up the difference of what they lost when they didn't get Richford's contract. That was a statement from one of their employees, so can we legally say, hey, we're not gonna pay it, and there was no increase? It's just, the bill was over 100%,
What's more than that?
yeah.
I think try negotiating with them first.
Yeah.
I think call them, say, hey, I mean, I don't know what kind of contact you've had, but try to contact, say, look, we're not really inclined to pay this, or at least this much without, without having been given proper notification. We'll pay it this time. I mean, we'll pay the old rate, and going forward, it'll be a fair understanding now.
That's basically what I, in an email tonight, I mentioned to Kylie, I have no problem paying the $450 that we had been paying, and moving forward, if we use the service, we would go good for the $1,050.
I will say I don't have an email address for the owner, but on that paper is the actual owner of Butler Medical Transport.
You'll be in an email,
Yeah.
not a call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can, if you need his email, I can get his email for you, just let me know.
But yeah, let's just start there,
Okay.
and we'll move up the chain.
I'll work with Kylie, draft a letter up.
Okay.
Other business other than what I had? Yeah, so while you have,
Just a quick employee update.
we're not gonna have any motions?
No, nothing will come out of it.
Okay, so we need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
Alright.